in the gilded world of hip-hop, where legends are made and empires are built, a dark undercurrent flows. An undercurrent that includes a litany of dark figures and gatekeepers, whose story likened to that of Sean Diddy Combs.
I did not put hands on Drake.
A man who rose to the pinnacle of the music industry only to be consumed by allegations of violence, betrayal, and a chilling web of criminal activity.
Cassie later testified that Combs had told her he was going to hurt her and Kid Cudi.
Something with the Diddy situation.
Why are you asking me about that stuff?
Yeah,
A story of one surrounded by a flame of troubling actions, but somehow always escaping judgment while issuing out mafia-like hits that encapsulated a ruthless pursuit of control.
Ventura testified Combs took her phone back in 2013 over suspicions that she danced with Chris Brown. She said she didn't.
This documentary will expose the sinister side of the bad boy CEO, revealing the alleged hit jobs, the threats.
And Diddy had found out he got a bottle or a wine bottle opener, put it in between her finger, it's in between his fingers, and lunged at her. But Cassie said that he had made no contact when he had lunged at her with the bottle opener.
And the lies forever altered by Diddy's actions.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac?
Was the explosion of Kid Cudi's car in 2012 more than just an accident?
Scott's car would be blown up, Cassie said Combs told her. Sean wanted Scott's friends to be there to see the car get blown up in the driveway.
Did the threats against Michael B. Jordan carry the weight of a dangerous underworld?
I'm a savage, whatever I want, I'm going to get!
And what truly lies behind the deaths of Kim Porter and Shakir Stewart?
It was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. If you actually knew what they did to me.
Both entangled in Diddy's complex web, and how a leaked video from 2016 would finally place Diddy in the crosshairs of judgment.
While Combs had it, he used it to call the NFL player she was seeing. That player wasn't mentioned.
This is the story of the alleged violence and mafia-like tactics of Sean Diddy Combs.
Final question, is there anything that you may want to confess tonight before you go in?
I keep everything right here.
There you go.
In May 2025, a federal RICO case impaled on Sean Diddy Combs would kick off, showing some of Diddy's most unorthodox habits, sending shockwaves through social media.
She heated up the baby oil to be used in freak-offs.
These sexual performances with male prostitutes while Sean Combs recorded them, using the video, she said, as leverage.
This ripple effect of testimonies and confessions would all begin from a tape leaked that showcased an obsession and will of violence all surrounding.
As a producer that I've been working with for the last 2 years, I was brought to me by Ed Woods, who did Ryan assigned to their label, and also as a producer.
Now, if you don't know the story, Chad, Diddy finessed this woman away from Ryan Leslie by making up a fake event in Miami that required her to go with him. But Ryan Leslie wasn't either allowed to come or he couldn't come.
I heard he also had a young lady that was with him named Cassie that had a record out. And I started hearing this record that was haunting me in the clubs. And it was, you know, it was Cassie's record, Me and You. And it was, I would hear it everywhere I was at. And so I kept asking, what record is that? And Gwen told me that it was Ryan's act, it was Cassie. When I saw her, and I met her, and I saw this DVD on her, hopefully we can play that. That's what kind of made me like really fall in love with the project, because I saw something more than just records. I saw something that there was a personality there, there was something that, you know, the whole world could fall in love with.
Cassie's still signed to you? Yes, she's still signed to Next Election. And her deal is through Puff? Yeah. So was there any sort of strain, the fact that she is, you know, kind of seen with Puff a lot, and they have some sort of relationship in terms of, you know, like that sort of, you know, triangle kind of approach where, you know, you guys had a relationship, you're signed to Puff, she's seen out with Puff. I mean, does that create some sort of strain in your personal life?
Well, I think that you know, as a human being, right? You know, it's just you know, some of these questions, like it would seem to me that they would have obvious answers. You know what I mean? Just you know, if you were to put yourself in my position as a human being, right? And so you know, there are definitely some. There are and there were definitely those moments and instances where, you know, you question what's really going on. But for us on the outside, because even in terms of her relationship with Puff, I'm on the outside.
The relationship will be the anchor of a wheelhouse of violence that was issued out to anyone who got close enough to the singer against the wishes of Diddy. One rapper would almost become a fatal tragedy of the Bad Boy CEO by being romantically involved with Cassie, the longtime love and eventual culprit of Diddy's downfall. In 2012, she was involved in a romantic relationship with Kid Cudi.
And she said that she began her relationship with Kid Cudi at a point where she and Diddy were actually off. They were on a break, but she began a relationship with Kid Cudi because the two were just enjoying each other's company. And Diddy had found out. He got a bottle or a wine bottle opener, put it in between her finger, it's in between his fingers, and lunged at her. But Cassie said that he had made no contact when he had lunged at her with the bottle opener.
Upon discovering this relationship, Diddy would become enraged and issue threats toward Cassie, stating he would blow Cudi's car up in Cudi's driveway while the rapper will be in the presence of others. This was included in Cassie's 2023 lawsuit. Interestingly enough, in 2012, around the same time Diddy allegedly made these threats, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. A spokesperson for Kid Cudi confirmed to the New York Times that the car explosion did indeed occur.
Cassie later testified that Combs had told her he was going to hurt her and Kid Cudi, and later spoke of arson. Scott's car will be blown up, Cassie said Combs told her. Sean wanted Scott's friends to be there to see the car get blown up in the driveway.
Approximately 2 weeks later, the defendant's co-conspirators set fire to individuals' vehicle by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping a Molotov cocktail inside the interior. Police and fire departments reports extensively document the arson and conclude that the fire was intentionally set. Multiple witnesses will also testify to the defendant bragging about his role in destroying his individual's car. Wow.
Federal prosecutors are reportedly looking into the car explosion as part of a larger criminal case against Diddy, using it to illustrate the types of crimes he is allegedly capable of committing. The indictment against Diddy mentions kidnapping and arson, which seem to align with the alleged incident involving Kid Cudi and his car. Kid Cudi would not be the only character to potentially become a victim of Puffy's obsession with Cassie. The situation would almost potentially repeat itself during a period of separation from Combs in 2015. Cassie began a flirtatious relationship with an actor who has since been identified as Michael B. Jordan. Upon learning about Cassie's involvement with Jordan, Diddy allegedly contacted the actor and threatened him. These threats allegedly included money being placed on Michael B. Jordan's head, all in the name of ceasing any contact with Cassie.
Diddy was apparently a little annoyed by the relationship that Cassie and Michael B. Jordan were having together while they were shooting this movie. And Cassie had even said around this time that she and Diddy weren't even together when she went off to shoot the movie. She broke things off.
This situation would be vilified in the 2023 lawsuit Cassie had with Diddy, which is also included in his federal RICO case. During the jury selection process for Diddy's trial on sex trafficking and related charges, potential jurors were asked if they were familiar with a list of names, which included Michael B. Jordan. Adding Jordan to an increasingly large list of potential targets of the hip-hop mogul. Stories would run rampant concerning Diddy's abusive behavior over his love interest with Cassie. Outside of Michael B. Jordan and Kid Cudi, Maybach Music's artist Wale would also become a target of rumors over a collaboration session between him and Cassie. According to rapper Ant Glizzy, Diddy would show up unannounced.
We in the studio, and this girl in the studio, and she's singing, but the girl is Cassie at the time. I don't really know what's going on. I just know she's a big singer. I'm not a musician. I'm not a music guy at this time. I'm not into music. Before we even get to the studio with him and Cassie in the studio, Wale was already telling us, like, man, we better go to the studio with Cassie. Man, Diddy be acting crazy over her. Diddy don't want nobody working around her, so y'all make sure y'all don't look. We probably like an hour in the session, like an hour into the session, maybe two. Her and Wale doing what they do in the studio, but they helping each other. It's just professional, y'all. It ain't nothing like, they ain't doing nothing weird. I don't feel no weird vibes. I don't see no flirting or nothing. It's really professional. They making good music. So I'm off, not paying no attention. I swear to God, y'all, Diddy and his security guys walk through this room. So Diddy walks in. Diddy walk in, Wale and him in the bathroom. Wale and the girl in the booth, but they doing the music part, me and Shy over here. I don't know it's Diddy who walked in. I just see these big security guys and a nigga in black, like it's a black sweatsuit and a hat. I can't really see who it is, but I know it's another celebrity, important person. But he came in with aggression, they moving. But I seen security guys with him, so I knew it wasn't nothing for us. Like, it was no, like, It was no threat to us or me or Shy. It was like, and then I looked, it was like a glance once he got a little bit past me. I'm like, damn, that's Diddy. I ain't saying no. As they go in there, they go back there, but they shut the door. It's a blind, it's a studio pod, the boo pod. It's like a blind back there. Diddy and them went back there and shut the blinds. All I heard was like, but not punches, like shit, like moving around, tables and shit. But I'm like, oh, so me and Shy run to the blinds. We peeping through the blinds. I'm peeping through the blinds. Shy peeping through the blinds. I swear for God, it's a balcony in the studio, like an out balcony. You can see over the back. I swear to God, my grandmother, they got Wale over top of his feet. They got him off his feet, hanging off the balcony. Like, he hanging off the balcony. They dangling by his feet. I can't really hear what they saying.
Wale would appear on the Morning Hustle radio show to deny this event ever occurred.
Your name was brought up in something with the Diddy situation.
Why you asking me about that stuff?
I was gonna say, to clear it up, you weren't involved in it.
I never got in an altercation with them.
Yeah.
I've never been in an altercation with nobody in the industry.
Yeah.
Never had close calls, but not him. Definitely, like that. It was made up by somebody who was just trolling and it just went.
Yeah, I know you are, because when they throw people's names in it, when you have nothing to do with it, I know that's like.
It's a topic to get to go. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah.
Like that's preposterous, man.
Before we go too far in this video, please do me one small favor and apply pressure to that subscribe button. Yes, apply pressure to that subscribe button. A woman would not be the only reason one would become a target of Combs, who has deemed himself as a gatekeeper and royalty of the New York music scene.
Harlem, we did it, motherfucker, we did it.
This attitude would resonate when an encounter allegedly occurred at the 2013 MTV Awards after party, when Diddy would sculpt down too many drinks and reportedly approach Kendrick Lamar about his epic verse on the song Control, where he would declare himself King of New York.
I'm Machiavelli's offspring, I'm the king of New York, king of the coast.
Now, a side note to this. Everyone, including myself, thinks that Kendrick ultimately meant he's the king of New York, of hip-hop hierarchy, which can be seen as a shot against New York. And it probably is a double entendre. But this quote was made famous by Corrupt, which was probably an ode to the line.
I asked Corrupt, I don't know if you remember when Kendrick had that King of New York line?
When he said, he did Corrupt's line. On the,
yeah, he did Corrupt's line.
Yeah.
No one had actually put those pieces together, though.
That it was Corrupt.
That it was Corrupt.
Yeah, I did.
Hold on, maybe I can look it up.
You want mine or Kendrick's?
Your verse.
I'm important like the Pope. I'm the king of New York. I'm live from South Central. I'm a Muslim on pork. That means I'm the worst. And that's all it meant. I'm the worst. I'm the king of New York. His name was Frank White. You notice how since somebody from the West Coast will say they're the king of New York, they automatically assume we're disrespecting New York.
Whatever the case, Diddy was one of the folks that might have taken that line too personal. The verse would ultimately lead to the now epic Kendrick versus Drake beef, but at the time, Puffy would take offense and attempt to spill a drink on the Compton rapper. In the area would be one of the big three, J. Cole, a longtime colleague of Kendrick, who would step in. At some point, people would claim that an altercation between J. Cole and Diddy would occur. According to an interview from TDE Punch, this altercation would escalate after a threat was made that someone's throat would get cut at the next occurrence of disrespect. Emory Jones, a longtime Jay-Z affiliate, would jump into the melee, protecting Diddy, not knowing that J. Cole was actually Jay-Z's artist, afterwards making him highly remorseful when discovering the fact. Eventually, the entire situation will be squashed by Diddy and J. Cole, with the two trolling the internet by appearing together on a tweet, mimicking the story. Kendrick and J. Cole would not be the only parts of the big three to have a run-in with Diddy. A year later, one from the Six would have his encounter with Puffy Combs take center stage, where the setting would be a lavish birthday bash at Live, one of the hottest clubs in Miami. The party was in full swing, the energy electric, but beneath the celebratory surface, a simmering tension was about to boil over. The catalyst? A beat. A track that would become one of Drake's signature anthems, 0 to 100, The Catch-Up. The story would transpire when Boy Wonder, a highly talented producer, had given this beat to both Drake and Diddy. Diddy, for whatever reason, sat on it. This is after contacting Drake to ghostwrite the song for him. Drake, who never had a problem recording content and working, decided to just go ahead and record it himself. It will become one of the most notable classics to date. The song will be nominated for Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song at the 2015 Grammys. For someone like Diddy, who prides himself in being a hitmaker, having a track that he supposedly passed on become a smash hit for somebody else, well, somebody got to pay. This would be corroborated when an audio would leak, which would sound like Diddy was addressing someone over something stolen.
Hey, yo, I want to play this next beat, but I want somebody to get it on tape. I'm going to play this next beat. I gave it to this nigga stole it from me, but at the end of the day, it's still hard. Play that shit.
Fuck being on some chill shit. We go 0 to 100, nigga, real quick.
Everything would come to a head when the two would spot each other outside of the club. Diddy allegedly confronted Drake, saying something along the lines of, "You will never disrespect me," before connecting the violent punch. After this altercation, reports would vary on what happened, with everything from Drake going to the hospital with a dislocated shoulder,
Rick Ross's DJ tweeted that Drake ended up in the hospital,
to Diddy himself saying no altercation happened at all. Drake would seemingly address this on the track 4 p.m. in Calabasas.
The higher I get, the less they accept me. Even had the OGs try and press me. Ha 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 ha. I was on some shit like, when can I get a favor? Where my bitch at? Like, I'm about to tell you where she been at. Costa Correas, I got a kidnap. She make you dance to this. I'ma make you one dance to this. Ha 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 ha.
Some say he would even make a push towards J-Lo, an ex-girlfriend Diddy's.
Drake is now saying that he, as soon as him and J-Lo have been flirting a lot over text message, he jumped into J-Lo's DMs, okay? Something happened. They had a song that didn't chart, but they also, J-Lo posted a picture of herself cuddled up and feeling so secure in Drake's arms on her Instagram way back in the day.
In February 2015, Rap-A-Lot Records CEO Jay Prince publicly defended Drake in a rant directed at Diddy.
So let me put these bullies on notice by letting them know Drake is family. And the weak shit from Puffy and Suge is on my radar. First of all, Puffy, feeling like he can put his hands on my family, open the doors for his family to be touched. You reap what you sow.
Months following, Diddy would go on The Breakfast Club to share his side of the story, stating there was no altercation and he doesn't want any issues with Drake.
What made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake.
Oh.
And I do not want any problems with Drake.
Can't even hear a hit. I know he couldn't.
Puff can't hear a hit? That's kind of crazy.
He still hear things from back then, that time.
Oh, got you now.
Right.
Okay, got you.
He can't buy the right. He can't. You play it for him right now, and it's hot. He can't buy it. This is why he's fighting Drake. When you hit Drake, because he used the beat that he didn't actually use.
But one rapper from Compton would detail a missing part of the story that has the tellings of what could have been a much darker ending.
They had a little beef over something in Miami outside of Liz.
I think Diddy allegedly assaulted him or something. It was over the Start from the Bottom beat, beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly like that.
But there were like calls, going around LA, and it was like, Drake here, Drake there, who will run up on him. I'm not saying it, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricked. Like, there's certain people that are gonna get called, and I'm one of those people. So, I had privy, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him, like, yo, this is what it is, but I got you. We over here, and I'm pretty heavy, so we straight.
The game would take advantage of the situation Drake had with Diddy by providing protection in exchange for a track. On this track, called 100, the game would explain the scenario with lines like, "Called me to set you up, want me to come and wet you up, 'cause you out of town like Biggie. Heard about the shit with Diddy, so I came through to vest you up." During Cassie's 2025 testimony with Diddy facing RICO charges, the internet began to take a new look at why this beef became so personal to begin with. Cassie would detail how she was invited to Drake's 2013 OVO Fest, and Diddy would physically assault her a day prior, with so much damage occurring she needed stitches.
and look what you did to me. AUSA says, in this photo, where were you? She says, I was in the green room in Toronto. Oh, she went there. Yeah, she still went to the 6. Yeah, this gotta be before Diddy tried to beat the shit out of Drake. Yeah, nigga, why are you partying with my bitch? Oh yeah, she definitely went to Toronto, okay.
Rumors at the time would state that Cassie was in talks to be signed to Drake's record label.
Look, last night the internet was buzzing with the rumor that Drake had signed Diddy's boo to his October's very own imprint.
But in hindsight, this was probably all just rumors because Diddy himself will be present and invited to perform at that very show.
Yo, we can't wait. We can't wait. No doubt, we love you.
I love you too, brother. Thank you for having me. Stay safe.
All right, love.
At some point, Diddy would become a victim of his own power, where he began to recklessly demonstrate this power, even on those not involved in the entertainment industry.
Hey, yo, welcome to the happy birthday shout to my nigga Jeezy. Make some noise for Jeezy one time.
Where he would once attack a club goer over the fact that this person had a table with a different brand of vodka than the Ciroc vodka Diddy was there to promote.
It's the rock boys in the come smack that purple shirt up there. Play that shit, you d***. What you gonna do, nigga? What you gonna do, nigga? Put that shit on my stage, nigga. You in my house, nigga. Hold up. Hold up. All right, hold up.
This reckless use of power would almost put T.I. in a rage. T.I. had just been recently released on criminal charges and was angry at the fact that being near such activities could place him back in hot water.
Hey, I don't give a what's going on in this like this. You will not put my homie me along for nothing in this. I ain't with none of that. I'll get the back that y'all have. I don't come enough time. Ain't nobody else in this on my body that got that good no time. But you got too much money for that shit.
Sean Combs' anger over wanting his way, whether over beats or his love interest, has a long history.
You said that Diddy, he was phone tapping Kim Porter's phone?
One in which has been one of the biggest rumors to exist in the hip-hop community. His mother of three will become the nucleus of rumors that he would place his fatal tendencies on his former love over an alleged tell-all book Kim was planning on releasing. The book reportedly would include her dealings with Puffy and his incidents that included other men she had love affairs with. One of the men who also has children with Kim Porter, I'll Be Sure, the 80s and 90s R&B artist that reportedly is going to take the stand in Diddy's upcoming trial.
After surviving a coma and liver transplant, he's an advocate pushing for real healthcare change. He's also exposing shocking truths about the music industry and recording artist Diddy. But one thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I am.
Publicly, he has been alluding to possibly being a victim of Diddy's underhanded tactics with proof of having health issues that have a questionable origin.
It was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. If you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head, there was a bunch of stuff.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
My first time saying it.
Are you concerned that he still has power outside of incarceration?
Remember, I'm the only one who spoke up. and I'm the only one left alive.
He has also been the main voice stating that Kim Porter's 2018 demise from health issues are suspect at best, and an investigation should be reopened, echoing similar sentiments shared online by hip-hop fans.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby.
Is Diddy suing you or threatening to sue you?
No.
No?
I have the truth.
What makes this all an interesting take would be other allegations of a former boyfriend of Kim Porter's, Shakir Stewart, once in 2000 getting brutally beat by Sean Combs for their relationship. This beating, which involved a chair, was followed by threats, in which Diddy allegedly once again would threaten to put money on Shakir's head.
He know everything she doing. He know her conversation. I'm sitting there like when I'm sitting there right there next to him, when I'm hearing them saying, this is what Shakir Stewart was saying to Kim Porter on the phone, that made him mad. That made him so mad at Shakir Stewart when he went to L.A. Reid party, hit him with the chair.
Stewart Shakir would ultimately die by suicide in 2008. Unfortunately, Kim Porter would give up the ghost by official reports of pneumonia.
He looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia.
Though conspiracy theorists would claim that Diddy had to have had some kind of involvement, being that her death would come on the heels of the announcement of a tell-all book, a book that is reportedly going to be released this year, as well as a book from Albie Shore.
Her casket was ordered 2 months before she died. I don't believe that, man. I swear. How you order a gold casket 2 months before somebody died, man?
Throughout time, it seems that Puffy's violent streak became more of a commonality than a rarity. But there is a moment where some would say began a violent tirade, a moment where he would be one of the few to survive.
So, do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody.
Early in Diddy's career, he will be placed in the center of one of hip-hop's most well-known feuds that would become so deadly it would influence other beefs for years to come. What started off as just Bad Boy versus Death Row would transform to become Tupac versus Bad Boy, and ultimately an East Coast versus West Coast feud. The famous Source Awards event would just be the tip of the iceberg. A fatal feud with one of rap's most influential artists would occur when an ordinary studio session somehow ended with Tupac shot 5 times and robbed for over $40,000 worth of jewelry.
And finally, the night he was shot in the lobby of Quad Studios on November 30th, 1994, a hotspot for rap artists at the time. That's Sean Diddy Combs outside as police arrived on scene.
He was shot numerous times, at least twice in the head.
Even though there's no evidence Biggie and Sean Combs were involved, Tupac publicly blamed them.
Diddy's involvement would seem dismal until discovering the fact that Sean Combs was upstairs in the studio, knowing Tupac was supposed to be present, but somehow shocked at the fact that he still made the session, bleeding out and all.
Tupac article had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, he dissed my man, said my man turned his back on him, and I know for a fact that didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? And like the rumors that's spreading is on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy.
As soon as he comes out shot, me and my man, we try to sit him down. He called his mom. He asked my man if he could roll him a blunt. You know what I'm saying? We asked him if he's all right. He's just like, yeah, I'm all right, I don't know what's going on. And I mean, everybody that was there was very supportive of him. Just the total opposite. As soon as he came out, everybody ran towards him. It was nothing but love and concern.
They got different accounts of what happened, and I'm the one with the bullet wounds. I also understand that if you was to get shot 5 times, your mind is just completely spinning, you know what I'm saying? You're real confused about your situation. So it'll cause you to say things that you really don't mean.
How do you know for sure that Puffy and Andre Harrell knew that Tupac was going to get set up at Quad Studios?
I never said that he was going to get, they knew he was going to get shot. I said they knew he was going to get dealt with. Tupac was there to get robbed.
Tupac and Puffy were not strangers to each other. Tupac was mentoring Biggie, but there were rumors that him and Puffy had a strange acquaintance of their own.
He was knocking down all the women that he thought Pac was knocking down. And what I mean is having sex with.
Puff and Tupac was like a couple, it seemed like to me.
Whatever they may have done, and you gotta remember, they was all swingers. Nobody know why, but Puff had an obsession with him for whatever reason it was, because he started wanting to act. He started wanting to rap.
Shakur would take this situation personally, though Biggie and Puffy would insist they had nothing to do with the robbery, and that Tupac knew who was behind it. Tupac would claim that Biggie attempted to set him up, not only after leaving moments before an incident would occur where a woman would claim Tupac allowed others to rape her, but also leaving guns with the serial number scratched in Shakur's hotel room for the cops to discover as well.
It's about the guns. What do you, Tupac? Are you sure? What about the guns? That's the other thing.
No, it's not. Has nothing. It's not my liking for guns. What about the NRA? We all have a right to bear arms. I have that. I have that same right as you do. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I shouldn't have a gun. I have a legally own guns. I legally own guns. Why would I come to New York and be unlawfully owning 2 guns? Who has 2 guns? Who carries 2 illegal guns?
Biggie's guns, because them cowards left the room when they heard the police was downstairs, and everybody left their guns in my room. So I got 4 guns in my room. Serial numbers scratched out, and I did not snitch. I took that case. So you can imagine how I feel when I'm in jail for that case.
When Tupac will be found guilty of SA charges, Biggie and Puffy will proceed to issue out interviews where they portrayed Pac as delusional and not tough enough to live out the thug persona he created himself.
Them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New Yorkers commenting on me getting shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, read it, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen shit.
Let's be honest, you a punk or you would see me with gloves. Remember that shit you said, the vibe about me being a thug?
Honestly, all the information on either side did not add up, though there was very suspect scenarios that presented themselves. Some would state that after this robbery, Biggie could be seen in the picture wearing the same jewelry Tupac got relieved of. Pac would appeal his charges and come out of jail looking for blood. A war would ensue, where Tupac would unite with Death Row, who had ongoing disputes with Bad Boy.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
I'm the executive producer that a comment was made about a little bit earlier. But check this out. Contrary to what other people may feel, I would like to say that I'm very proud of Dr. Dre, of Death Row, and Suge Knight for their accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? I'm a positive black man, and I make music to bring us together, not to separate us, and all this East and West that needs to stop. So give it up for everybody from the East and the West that won tonight.
To the point where Suge would attempt to make a Bad Boy affiliate drink urine for not giving up Sean Combs' mother's address.
So he later on sued, said that we was trying to get the address on where Poppy mama lived at, and so on. He said he got the shit beat out of him, right? And he said he drunk about 35 champagne size piss.
What was an industry beef was everything but innocuous. Both would become marked men on each coast. Diddy and Biggie would barely make it out of an award show after being approached by Tupac and Suge.
I see Pac and Suge and the rest of them come like that, and we're at the end of the edge where if you take this left, you have to jump down into where the televisions and the media was at. Puff was right here behind me, and they coming, and they talking amongst each other. I see him, and I looked at Puff, and I just said to him, I said, yo, Puff, don't worry about nothing, bro. I got this. Just take care of my family. You know what I mean? And when I looked the other way, next thing you know, he jumped down the embankment and took off running.
Snoop and the Dog Pound almost gave up the ghost during a video shoot that reportedly was sending jabs at New York City. Tupac would take this bad boy East Coast beef so personal that anyone from the East Coast at the time was not safe in his presence.
Pac went around the room. Where you from? Somebody said, okay, I'm from Englewood. Are you good? Where you from? Each person that said they was from the East Coast. Pac fired this shit up. You know, he fired on them. They just tried to kill the homies. Smack. He go to the next person. Where you from? They were from the East Coast. He fired on them. They just tried to kill the homies. Put him in a certain kind of way because, you know, he felt that people in New York crossed him. And I had to explain to him, every person in New York is not a bad person. And some of the people who crossed you is weirdos. There's a time for everything. You can't hit the whole New York.
Pac would up the ante by pursuing Biggie's wife.
I just want to send a shout out to Faith. Hey girl, Faith and Bad Boy Record.
Then making her a major factor in this beef, turning her into the focal point of one of the most brutal diss songs to date, Hit 'Em Up.
That's why I fucked your fat mother.
Also creating videos and sketches depicting Biggie and Puffy as undercover degenerates.
I'm having millions, man. You see what I'm driving, man, you know? Well, let's get something.
Yeah? Happy to see me. Wasn't y'all talking when I got in here? Finish.
No, that can wait.
Soon the West Coast in itself was turning into a no-fly zone for anyone from the bad boy camp. But Sean Diddy Combs, being the alleged monster he was known for, was playing chess. Being in the spotlight as a dancing CEO, but behind closed doors, he may have been the most cunning of all parties mentioned.
He was playing chess, and I guess we was playing checkers, cuz.
He would make his moves by reportedly forming a secret alliance with a death row artist who had become a secret enemy to Tupac. This was only the beginning, because during this entire time, he was already generating rapport with the Southside Crips, a group who had also had an ongoing feud with Death Row that included club brawls as well as a mall incident where a Death Row chain was snatched.
So at one point, there was rumors that Puffy had aligned himself with the Southside Crips.
He did.
And there was bounties on Death Row chains.
Yeah.
10,000, I think?
10,000.
This situation would lead to an assassination, which we'll get to in a moment. After Tupac would apply relentless pressure, Diddy would reportedly reach out to Keefy D, a member of the Southside Crips, to place a $1 million bounty on Tupac's head.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
What exactly did you do for Puffy?
I gave him a, you know what I'm saying, a pass through my town, man.
What I believe is when Keefy D was offered the $1 million on the hit for Suge and Pac, you got Gene Deal that always said that D-Mac, the Crip, another on the Crip side, kept telling Diddy, yo, my Grape Street and my Southside Crips will handle Suge and Pac for y'all.
Just to make it clear, man, when Puffy came to LA, you used to give him protection, right? From the Southside Crips because he was scared of Suge Knight?
It speaks for itself, my brother.
The only problem would be Snoop, who was also a Long Beach Crip, played a part in gang politics. But in a short period of time, everything would come together. At the 1996 MTV Movie Awards in New York City, Snoop would make a move where it seemed he would choose sides and openly state on the radio he would like to make music with Biggie, the same Biggie who once sought to take his life.
Shoot at you at the Dogpound video in New York?
Biggie called the shot. Shit had happened. New York niggas that shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst shit you could think of. And I forgave them. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like them niggas, I want to do some music with them. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked them niggas' music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out. Pac, Biggie.
I was told by another one of our security guards that was a bodyguard that he had escorted Pac to the airplane as they were leaving New York. And Tupac told him, specifically told him, that he was a dead man walking.
Just days later, Tupac would take a trip with Suge Knight to the Mike Tyson fight in Vegas, a trip he was reluctant to take, a trip that Snoop, interestingly enough, declined. It would be on this trip where Tupac would confront an individual, Orlando Anderson, kinfolk to Keefe D.
Tupac don't know no Southside Crips. He don't know none of these guys. How did he know to go after this dude? And this is one of my problems with Suge. Man, this dude is an artist. This man is worth millions of dollars to you. And you let him go over here and fight a gangbanger. A man he knew jack shit about. And this is how he get killed, because you running into a hitter.
Hours later, an opportunity will present itself where Tupac will be shot in cold blood murder on the vibrant streets of Vegas. A hit job that not only Keefe D confessed to, but complains about never being paid by the one who reached out to him in the first place, Sean Diddy Combs.
Come on, homie. I need something. Throw a dog a bone or something. You sit up there talking about you, daddy love. Show us some love.
Currently, Keefe D is on trial for the murder, where he repeatedly states Diddy was involved as well.
Do you feel like Puffy owe you?
Yeah, he should. I think he should look out. He look out for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? He like, man, you need to come to New York. I swear we'll repay you. I've been waiting on that repay for a long time, bro. I said I was just going to get some bread from Puff to get us some guns, because they kept on raiding our houses, taking our guns.
And I guess you said that Puffy called and said, was that us? And you didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. Yeah, you're right.
Tupac would die on September 13th, 1996. But would that be the end of Diddy's hit list or the beginning? Just months later, Biggie would be almost forced to make a West Coast promotion trip that Diddy would claim to amend ties with the West and end the beef. Diddy himself, shortly after Tupac's death, would make appearances with Snoop, trying to cool things over with a coast who just lost their biggest artist.
There ain't no East Coast, West Coast beef. I swear. We ain't coming to talk about nothing behind us. We come to talk about what's ahead of us. Yeah. We here to make a difference, you know what I'm saying? So we want y'all to stay in school and keep y'all heads in y'all books. No doubt. Knowledge is power, y'all.
But soon after, the East Coast would experience the same. Gene Deal would detail a situation where Diddy would discover that Biggie would become aware of his conniving industry moves, where in his deal, Diddy was robbing Biggie for all his publishing.
He had to listen to Puff because Puff owned his publishing and his marketing, and marketing, and he wanted it back.
He was broke, he was fucked up, and he approached Puff for some extra money. Puff was like, well, you could sell me back part of your publishing for like, I don't know, I think it was like $25,000 or some real small amount. And Big did it, not really realizing the implications of it.
He gave him $200,000. He said, but I'm about to get this money. So he showed me, I said, you about to get that money? He said, yeah, look at this. And I think the contract was for so many years for like 62 million, it comes out to like $62 million.
Biggie was making backdoor moves to make money free from Puffy.
Puff seen how Big learned how to put his publishing in other people's name to stop him from getting the money that he was owed.
Even creating his own label with Lance Riviera, where he would go on to sign Cam, who he would meet through Mace, a newly signed bad boy artist who sent Cam to Biggie so he wouldn't become a victim to Diddy's industry tactics.
When you had your record deal, why did you take me to Biggie Smalls and not Bad Boy?
Instantly, I knew Biggie would do right by you.
Puffy might have made even more sinister moves on his own. When Biggie was dragged out to an industry party with Diddy, a party that he was reluctant to attend. Unfortunately, this party will be Biggie's last.
I was sitting behind Biggie, C's was right here in the car, and D was right there in Biggie's truck. And Biggie was like, yo, Murray, I got shows in London. Do you think I should stay here or leave? I said, Big, you know they do not like you out here, leave.
By the night's end, Biggie will be shot by an assailant who will pull up alongside his car and unleash rounds at the Brooklyn artist, while Diddy was in a separate car, less than a block away.
Those tensions that a lot of people say did exist and do exist, do you think that had anything to do with Biggie's death?
As I said before, it would not be right for me to speculate. If I don't know who killed him, then I would just be speculating. I cannot go there. I did not receive any, we did not receive any type of warnings beforehand from the party, or they were saying like we had received threats. We didn't receive threats. We didn't We didn't feel any type of tension. As I said before, we were just trying to move on from the negativity of all the hype that was created from the East-West stuff, just by showing the fans and showing the people out there that we wanted to move on, and hopefully through our actions of moving on and being out there with the people, that hopefully other people out there would be able to move on.
Did Biggie feel the same way you did?
Yes, definitely. We talked about it all the time.
Big had to play the game because Big wanted to get his publishing back and his marketing.
Letta Wallace has spoken about how she believed Diddy used her son for his personal gains in her book titled Biggie, where she says, "I'm glad my son does not have to witness that the very people that he thought he could ride and die with wouldn't think twice about using his mother. I am glad that he's not here to see how they have used his image and his name. I believe Sean loved my son after he was dead. I used to tell Christopher all the time not to trust Sean."
Puff was not, listen, Kirk Burrows said that Puff told him, "Man, you'll be dead before I give you all your publishing back."
Within 6 months, two of hip-hop's biggest artists would perish. What the two would share is each had some kind of conflict with Sean Diddy Combs. Diddy would go on to be in the middle of even more disputes throughout his career, with situations where those around Diddy would end up dead or in jail, with Diddy prospering off of publishing rights of these artists, almost every time escaping any form of consequence, till one day in 2024, a tape would leak out to the media. This tape would spark an investigation that got Diddy federally indicted on charges of sex trafficking, arson, and drug peddling, possibly marking the end of an era that included sinful monikers of malice, dead legacies with an addition of freak-off parties, giving credence to a famous adage inscribed by Sun Tzu: "The wheels of justice turn slowly, but grind exceedingly fine." If you like this documentary, I'm pretty sure that you'll like the other documentaries I got, long form and short form, like this one that tells about how Sean Diddy Combs became King Xerxes. Well, anyways, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxie Approved, right? With that water. I see you here next time on Moxie Approved.